Hi everyone. This video will be going over the lesson design template that you'll be using for both Lesson 1, Assessment 1, and Lesson 2, Assessment 2 for TESOL Foundations. So the top here, you're going to add that background information about the unit that this lesson is a part of, what number lesson it is, grade, subject, what is the question of the day that your students will be targeting. You're gonna, you have links here that will bring you to the standards, the Common Core standards, as well as the Common Core linguistic demand progressions. So you'll be adding those in here. You might want to do this last after you've decided on the funner part, which is designing the actual activity and lesson. To each their own on that. Some prefer to do this first, others prefer to design the lesson first and then come back to the standards. So your day's objectives. So again, this is just for the day. So what is your hope? What is your goal for these students to be able to do by the end of this lesson? So we have both a content objective and a language objective. I think for this, less is more. I think just one or two objectives is fine because you want to really focus on just one or two things that students can do really well by the end of your lesson. This area, we have our language demands. This is included to really make you thoughtful in planning how language is played out in this lesson, what is needed, what needs teaching, what needs modeling. And so this is to really help start to shift your mindset when you're planning to plan through the eyes and ears of an English language learner. So you'll add in all that detail, what supports would be included, materials, technology, what prior knowledge do students have going into this lesson. So if they've already learned about global warming or they've already learned about linear equations, you'd put that there so we know what prior knowledge they have. Next, the actual lesson, your lesson sequence. I've planned this out into a model that I really like as a teacher. So you have your intro, your warm-up to get students seated and excited for the lesson of the day. And then we have our I do, which is where the teacher's modeling the task of the day. This is an important part that was supported in Gibbons chapter 3, where the teacher really models the task or activity. We do, the students are practicing. Usually that's very quick, maybe 5 minutes. They practice maybe in a pair. The task or objective of the day. And then the you do, this is your group work. This is what you're focusing on majority of your lesson. And the you do, independent practice or group work, this is where you're really connecting to your day's objectives. So what are students showing that they can do? What do you hope for them to be doing when they're in their groups? What sorts of language are they using? What sorts of knowledge are they showing? So this area should take up most of the time. And then lastly, you have your assessment. This could be a closing summary or exit ticket. This might look like student reporting, where one member from each group reports what they've learned or what they did in their group. It could be an exit ticket where students answer the question of the day, and then you collect that exit ticket. It might be a Padlet. So there's lots of different things you can do there. I did include the time because I have found that, especially for English language learners, things tend to take a bit more time. And I know, like, as a new teacher, I would always plan these really extravagant lessons, and I would only get through maybe half and feel so defeated, like I had failed. But I think, again, like, less is more. Don't try to do too much. Really stick to those objectives and how students can learn those objectives in the most efficient manner. You also see here teacher actions, student actions. So I found this to make me a better teacher because it makes me think about, okay, well, when the students are doing group work, what am I doing? How can I be an effective educator? And then lastly, we have our guiding questions, which you saw in Gibbons. Questioning is so important. And I find that the better I've become at questioning, the better teacher I've become. It really allow students to think deeper, and it scaffolds them to the day's objective is better questioning. In my next video, I'll be talking a little bit